Now, normally I like to get all your surfaces, but I got a problem here. I don't have any access to any of the surfaces. So we're only going to do the important surfaces.
Okay.
Those are around the oil feed hole. The pressure area up here. Be nice. On the edge right there, we can get to it. Down there. That's about it. That's all we can get to.
Need a smaller paintbrush.
That's too much work. Then we take this one. We put the surface here. Try not to get the oil on it. Like that. She's gooped. Okay, now it's been so long since this is went to put on. It's probably dry now. So now it's probably too won't fit.
So you have to dip it in the toilet again.
Probably have to go
Sink.
probably have to go do it again. Yeah, it looks like it kind of shrunk up a little bit. Of course, now this is going to be dry by the time I get back. So it's a vicious circle here of time frames.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I have bottled water in my pocket if you need it.
Those scubas here, you'd have a water bowl, probably. Oh, the barrels should be driving now. Oh, sticky still.
Dehydrated. Not me, the gasket.
Yeah.
Now don't spread it too much, you'll tear it. You just want to get the water droplets off of it. And we'll put the sealer on it real quick. It'll lock in the moisture. Of course, the gasket's only 5 thou thick, so it's pretty flexible. Come on, pick up. I mean, it will stick to the gasket board if you're not careful. So you gotta be quick. Don't be lazy. Don't come back in 10 minutes. You might not ever get it back off again. Now, the trick for putting these on without tearing them, put them on the pump. Come on, get down lower. See, that way the pump backs it up so it doesn't tear it. But you gotta get it where it needs to be without wrinkles. That one right there.
Yeah.
So you do that. Gasket's going to do everything it needs to do. It will go on without tearing. But you will not get it off again, that's for damn sure. It is a one-time application. You got a gasket that's not available, that's a problem. You make sure you hold the shaft so it goes in where it belongs. Okay.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Sometimes you can't put the gear in there after you do that. There's that gear. You know, on this bike you can do it. Now the problem right now is I got all this stuff on here, so it's hard to get to, which makes the job really hard to do.
So you'll probably yell at me a little bit.
First thing I do is get the key and get to it. Okay. The fact I can even move it was a good sign. Got brand new nip pick pliers. Got nice good sharp edges on them. Unlike my other ones that fling everywhere. This actually holds on good. You can insert it right into the hold and drop it. Because it didn't go in, or it stuck to the pliers. I didn't check to see if they were magnetic. Now you don't want that to go into the hole. These are harder to deal with than the later motors. More places for it to hide. See, there was way too long to do anything with it. Something long and skinny. Alright, try this again. This time a little bit different. Just taking my hold on the end of it. Make sure it's in there. The screwdriver behind it. She's in. That was the easy part. Now the problem with this is we have the gears are all in here, so we have to rotate things to get the gear to go on and not push the key out.
Alright.
All at the same time. Now you want the sharpest edge out. See, this bevel's a little bit deeper than this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to put this side out. Less chance of the key coming off. If the oil pump is too far in, you can't put the gear on either. In this case, we do have room for that. So you have to move, we have to rotate the crank so you get the gear to go where it needs to go. Right now we have no feel. There we go. Okay, it slid on that far. The key is trying to come out. See, it's almost like I knew what I was doing there.
Oh, look at you.
Okay, then you shove the shaft on the other side. And if you look at the, there's almost no room for the key, for the snap ring to go in there.
Yeah.
Pretty low. I didn't give you a snap ring, so he had a whole pile of, he bought extra.
Well, that was nice.
Because he knew we were going to need them. I only want that one loose one here. Now for the fun part. Okay. See how these are made right now?
Mm-hmm.
That big gap in there?
Yeah.
This usually means it's too big. So instead of having to put it on, take it back off, and rebend it, I'm going to rebend it right now.
Just get that out of the way.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do a number to it right now. You got to get them where they're not at the same height, so they go across each other. Overbend it a little bit, see? Put a little extra tension on it. Where are my snaps? Let's see. Let me try these new ones or not. These new ones look like they're garbage. See the size of the hole?
Yeah.
They're pretty close, but it looks like they do fit. Sharp edge, dull edge. So that means that's backwards. Sharp edge goes out, dumbass. That way it digs in the groove and doesn't flop off as easy.
Yeah. This is where I would fling that ring across the room.
And if we had actual light in here I could see, it would be nice. So should Maybe some light in there. That light's not much better than nothing, but I think it is nothing. Woo!
Too much?
In that location, way too much. Now I can see. Works a lot better when you can actually see what you're doing. So that snapping's destroyed. I have no idea why it would not even go on that damn thing. I think the snapping is way too small. Repinned it. I don't know if the tool's the problem. I feel like screwing around with a tool I don't know about, so I get my good tools. See if I have room to get in here straight. You're not holding that shaft at all. Ooh. How come I have to push it 1/16 of an inch after you're holding it? That doesn't help. This time push on it hard as hell. Okay, now it'll stay put. There we go. Is it tight or not? It is tight and it moved. These snap rings are undersized. Okay, it's on the back side over there, away from 180 from where the groove is. The groove's here. So, these snap rings are way undersized is the problem. Okay, see a snap ring?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it, there's no damn light.
Yeah.
Pull it up, you can see it. See how fat the groove is on that thing? See how it's got a big gap on it?
Yeah.
Normally they're not anywhere near that big. That snap ring is undersized. That's why I had to overexpand it so much to get it on there. Way more than normal. So I had this damn thing opened up about this damn big to get it on there, which is way overextended. But it doesn't matter, it is tight on the groove, so it's in the groove. If it spins on the shaft, the key will come out and it'll fall apart. Especially if you got the thing that far apart, the key can come right through that damn thing.
Oh, wow.
So on this shaft, the key groove doesn't go all the way through, so that won't happen. On a newer bike, that key groove's all the way across. That key comes right out. I've had it happen on my bike. So, and I always put them in where they can't come out. I've had one come out on my bike. So when that comes out, you have no oil pressure, obviously. So anyway, that's a pain in the butt. So those parts are made different than my normal parts are. My guess is because they're a size smaller than they're supposed to be. Which it doesn't matter as long as it's on there. Alright, so the pin is on there. So now it rotates fairly freely, but we have no tension or anything yet. Remember, nothing's pushed down yet. I'm sure the seat is already dried to whatever they are. Now this one we know is way thicker than we need. There's no way of stopping it. Looks like this one will fit on there without doing the water treatment to it. Normally I pre-assemble these things a couple times and get them dialed in, but when you have no gaskets to use and you know what you got is too damn thick, you shouldn't really have any issues. Doesn't mean it won't have an issue, just means it shouldn't have an issue. gasket board sucks. The other one's missing. See there's oil right there and where we don't want it? Wipe it off. Get to the area you can get to with a sealer, and it's kind of important down there at the bottom. Same thing, this thing will stick on there real nice. Go. That is not my regular gasket board, it's buried in there somewhere else. That's the one from the 90s I was using, late 80s. Recycled it.
Been around for a minute.
Come back to the old shop, use the old tools. So when the gasket is on a part, it doesn't tear when you put it on.
Ta-da!
Otherwise you gotta fight it and
Nice.
run the risk of tearing it. Pain in the butt. Okay, so now we have, that stud is too short to use anything. This one here is pretty short too. This one's too long. See, if we pre-assembled this, we could have seen that that stud was too short and maybe done something about it. But now we can't do nothing about it except put a nut on it, call it done. And it might even go in deeper if it doesn't want to go. If it does, we get to take this whole thing apart and loose the gasket. Step it over. These nuts do not want to go on the shafts at all. They look like they're the right thread. That one is.
Is it possible to have too much oil pressure with these things?
You'd actually have to make oil pressure to have too much.
Alright.
That answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we do on these. Can't blame it on paint because they didn't put any paint on these studs, but they're tight. See, that one's a little on the short side. And they got half a nut of threads. Stud's way too short. Somebody should pull that out. Or told me it was too short when you put it together, took it apart. That's the problem, you don't mock stuff up beforehand. Obviously no time to fix it now. This is not the correct hardware because you're supposed to have a tall nut to go back here. That's not in your pile.
Supposed to have a what?
A tall nut.
Oh.
That sticks way up here so you can actually tighten it.
Huh.
The one like the one you took off. That we don't have here. Because you have no room to get in here with anything. See how you have no room? Can't put a socket on it. Can't put a wrench on it because that's in the way. Because somebody didn't bring the hardware with them that it takes to do this job correctly. So, this has to come out. There's no way getting in there without having this out of here. There's a reason why they have special hardware. You still have no access to get into here. You have like this much. You're not going to do this on the bike, obviously. It'll be like a frame here.
Yeah.
The soft nut sticks way up high, so you can actually tighten it down.
Yeah. So why didn't that kit come with the tall nut?
Because that's just a universal oil pump kit, or just a universal nuts.
Mm.
Didn't say oil pump on it. This is quarter 24 nut, 6-pack, assorted. If you had an oil pump mounting kit, it would have the correct nuts on it. But this is not that kit. This is a universal, which means the threads work, but it's not quite right. I probably should check to make sure it rotates before I get too carried away here, but it's already all tight anyway, so it doesn't matter, but it does work. Okay, so now this last one I can't tighten anymore, so I have to do it this way here, which is a good way to round stuff off. I'm rounding the damn nut off, trying to even tighten it, because I got it tight. It's pretty tight right now. Go a little bit more. Yeah, it's got some good torque on it. Good torque. Good torque. Good torque. Good torque. Can't torque that one. Once it becomes loose, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Big problem. Don't over torque that one. Alright. We got this problem. I put it back in now. So if you have the correct nut at home, pull this back apart and change it before you put the motor together.
Okay.
Because you will not have access to that nut once that motor's in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Goes. Notice I didn't put 15 yards of crap on there. I just put enough to do the job. So you do have to get this in here though. So. That's tight enough. Alright. She's all in there. It doesn't move, that's a problem.
That would be horrible.